In this video, I will give you every player that you need to succeed for the Monday Night Football doubleheader on FanDuel this Monday, October 19th. My name's Quick Pick Nick, and having compared every single player offered from both games based on their prices and manually calculated projections, here are your locks and lotteries for the last two games of Week 6 of the NFL. If you enjoy this fast-paced calculated content, subscribe and stay tuned for more lineups throughout the season, including a Thursday night single-game lineup going live in a few days. To start off this lineup with a lock, my model recommends taking Travis Kelsey at tight end. While tight end might sound like a weird position to start with, and while this pick might sound obvious, Kelsey is nonetheless the most solidified lock in this slate. Although he costs $2,700 more expensive than the next best option on FanDuel, it is certainly worth the extra expense due to the differential we will likely see tonight at the position. Kelsey's fantasy output is almost unique to the tight end position, as he is one of the top, if not the top, pass option for Kansas City. During the 2020 season, Kelsey has never been targeted less than 6 times in a game. In addition, Kelsey has only fallen below 11 fantasy points once this season, which was against the New England defense whose priority was to lock down the short game and tight end efficiency out of the Chiefs. Seeing that Buffalo was unable to lock down Jonnu Smith at all last week, Kelsey is primed to be able to have a field day against the Bills. Following that first block with a pair of locks, this time at running back, my model selected Devin Singletary and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Out of the top 5 running backs offered in this slate, excluding the rest of the options who probably won't score more than 5 points tonight, Singletary and Edwards-Helaire seem to have the best value. Elliott is far too expensive, and while he may sometimes have those 20 plus fantasy point games, that kind of performance has only happened twice this season for Zeke, with the other 3 of his games averaging around 16 fantasy points per contest. Those explosive games tend to only come against tougher defenses when Dallas really needs to utilize their top back too, and Arizona isn't on that level where the Cowboys absolutely need to unleash the Zeke. In discussing the 4 remaining backs, my thoughts on the Kenyan Drake Chase Edmonds competition will come at the end of this video, as we'll be taking one of them as the lottery in the flex position, which will leave us with these 2 running backs. Even though Buffalo is kind of employing a running back by committee approach, Singletary tops that committee and is the go-to for the Bills, whereas Edwards-Helaire is a pace-setting back in Kansas City who will likely be used when the Chiefs inevitably break ahead early on against Buffalo, who just got smoked by a Titans team coming off 2 weeks without practice. For the final 2 locks, my model chose Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb. In order to break ahead in that Buffalo game, Kansas City will need to have that initial explosion, and that explosion is usually caused by the breaking off of that Mahomes-Hill bond. Hill has scored at least 1 touchdown in every game this season, and the Bills likely won't be able to stop business from proceeding as usual for this speedster. As for Lamb, he has been the Cowboys' blessing from the first round, showing up as one of the most impressive rookie receivers in 2020. Even without Dak Prescott throwing to Lamb, backup Andy Dalton will certainly still depend on Lamb's consistency, as Lamb was targeted 11 times last week when Dalton was in for most of the game. Moving on to the lotteries, the first lottery at quarterback is Kyler Murray. The reason Murray is a lottery isn't because I don't expect him to score a lot of points, but because I expect many quarterbacks to score a lot of points. The top 3 QBs in this slate all average over 27 fantasy points per game this season, meaning there's probably not a wrong choice here per se, but Murray is the cheapest and has the best matchup against the Dallas defense that typically allows high-scoring games. The next lottery is our third receiver, that being aspiring Bills rapper Cole Beasley. Although Buffalo overall had a rough week 5, Beasley was one of Allen's dependencies, targeting him 6 times against Tennessee, of which Beasley was able to catch all 6. Beasley has consistency, which is solid for someone who only costs $5,200 on FanDuel. Finally, for the flex and defense, I actually have 2 options for you, because at this point I cannot deal with the Drake Edmonds choice. This entire season, the opposite of whichever Arizona back I pick is the one that gets the ball, so instead of making a decision I typically get wrong, I'll give you the chance to hopefully have better luck with this committee in Arizona. The first combination includes Kenyan Drake with the Cowboys defense, which might sound bad because we have a lot of Cardinals on the team facing the Cowboys, but Dallas has been able to sustain a healthy fantasy output while having high-scoring games. Last week alone, the Cowboys scored 9 fantasy points with 28 in-game points allowed to New York. But if you hate Drake as much as I've grown to over the past few weeks, then the other option includes Chase Edmonds, at which point the Arizona Cardinals defense opens up given the extra $100, which is probably better compared to Dallas due to Andy Dalton's status, as well as our lower frequency of Cowboys on the roster. That's what my model was able to come up with for the pair of games tonight on Monday Night Football this October 19th, 2020. This has been Quick Pick Nick, the intersection for sports, data analysis, and speed. Thanks for watching.